making headlines. The vice chairman of the 14th Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, has paid a courtesy call on the president. The Palestine telethon organized by PSM has generated significant funds. And the tourism minister underscores that although the Maldives is a small country, it will always stand by Palestine, showcasing its resilience to the global world.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. The vice chairman of the 14th Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CPPCC, but to pay a courtesy call on President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. Upon his arrival to Belana International Airport, VIA, he was given a warm welcome by the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Ahmad Nazim, along with other parliamentarians. During the meeting, President Dr. Muiz emphasized the cordial relationship between the Maldives and China. The President highlighted his visit to China earlier this year and expressed his gratitude for the opportunity. He mentioned key developmental initiatives such as the China-Maldives Friendship Bridge and looked forward to strengthening the friendly relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, Vice Chairman Barter conveyed warm greetings from Chinese President Xi Jinping and congratulated President Dr. Muiz on securing a majority in the parliamentary election. The Vice Chairman also highlighted the historic relations between the two countries. He reiterated that the Chinese government respects and supports the Maldives' sovereignty and promotes mutual respect while advancing cooperation between the two nations. He also noted that the 2014 state visit by President Xi Jinping to the Maldives and the recent visit by President Dr. Muiz significantly contributed to the advancement of cooperation and friendly relations between the two countries. Concluding the meeting, the President Dr. Muiz and Vice Chairman Barter expressed their eagerness to work closely on future collaborations. The special telethon, Maldivians in Solidarity with Palestine, which was organized by Public Service Media PSM under the directive of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz, generates significant funds. The telethon was held on June 12th from 800 hours to 1200 hours.
For the telethon, a total of 13 charity boxes will be placed throughout Mali City, while fund boxes were also placed across nationwide with the assistance of local councils. Currently, efforts are in progress to tally the funds generated. Providing insight on the telethon, Manager Director of PSM Zina Zahir disclosed that although the coverage of the telethon has concluded, the opportunity to send funds online will be available until June 13th, 1800 hours. She revealed that the deadline to submit funds was extended following the requests made by several individuals. Additionally, she affirmed that an independent auditor, Pro Maldives, has been recruited to ensure the transparency of the telethon and to verify that the donations reach the intended beneficiaries. The telethon garnered significant support from President Dr. Muiz, the Vice President, Ministers, State-owned enterprises, private companies, and the public. Inaugurating the telethon, the President emphasized the ongoing violence in Palestine transcends a more bilateral conflict impacting the broader Islamic Ummah. He called for proactive engagement from the entire Muslim community to advocate for rights and justice in such critical situations. 2 dedicated bank accounts have been set up to facilitate online fund deposits for those unable to use these boxes. PSM unveiled some obstacles faced by individuals who try to deposit funds online. The funds raised through the telethon will be channeled to Palestinians with the assistance of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and will be sent through a United Nations UN administrative body.
Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal underscores that although the Maldives is a small country, it will always stand by Palestine, showcasing its resilience to the global world. These remarks were delivered during the special telethon Maldives with Palestine, organized by the Public Service Media PSM, where he handed over donations from the Ministry of Tourism and its operational departments.
Moreover, Minister Faisal emphasized this initiative carried out under President Dr. Mohammad Moizu's directive is extremely significant. He further noted that Maldivians will always advocate for Palestinian rights and remain true to their cause, reflecting the nation's enduring commitment. Addressing the event, Minister of the Way, Language, Culture and Heritage, Adam Nasir Ibrahim, reiterated that the ongoing terror faced by Palestinians deeply resonates with Maldivians. He highlighted the emotional link between the two peoples and stressed that prayer beyond material contributions is the most powerful tool for Muslims, urging continuous prayers for Palestine. The telethon supporting President Moizu's directive to aid Palestine has received extensive backing, symbolizing the Maldives' solidarity with the Palestinian people and reinforcing the nation's dedication to humanitarian principles.
Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam underscores that the present administration will firmly protect the interests of fishermen engaged in yellow strip scale fishing, ensuring that land fishing does not jeopardize their livelihoods. These remarks were delivered during his visit to an area where the Bodukanali Maswaringe Union BKMU was protesting against the issuance of permits for land fishing. Notably, BKMU's main concern centered around companies obtaining permits for land fishing, which they argued would inflict significant damage by obstructing their fishing nets. Minister Shiam personally addressed these concerns during his visit, clarifying that no such permits have been issued by any governmental bodies. He reassured the fishermen that the present administration remains committed by prioritizing their interest above all. In his address, Minister Shiam affirmed that the present administration has been actively fulfilling its promises to the fishing community since taking office. He highlighted efforts being made to support the Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited, MIFCO, which currently faces challenges in purchasing yellowfin tuna due to financial constraints. Minister Shiam assured that steps are being taken to improve MIFCO's financial position. During his interaction with the fishermen, Minister Shiam also addressed their concerns regarding the availability and affordability of fuel. He pledged to work closely with the State Trading Organization STO to resolve issues related to obtaining cheap oil, aiming to alleviate the financial burdens faced by fishermen. The Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy reveals that waste management vehicles have been distributed to 30 islands in the Maldives as part of the National Waste and Resource Management Program, Magesa Furate.
The vehicles were procured through free grants from the Japanese government. The handover took place at a special ceremony held at the Waste Management Corporation Limited WAMCO office building, where Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim officially presented the vehicles to the local councils and inaugurated the event. Speaking at the inauguration, Minister Tariq emphasized that the new vehicles will significantly enhance waste management on the islands. He also said that additional resources and training for waste management would be provided to the islands. Previously, 48 islands received vehicles under the Magesa Furate program in February of last year, bringing the total number of islands supplied with vehicles to 78. In addition, the Japanese government will supply waste management equipment to 25 more islands.
Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim reveals that waste management equipment will be brought to the Maldives by August. He made the announcement during the signing ceremony for the donation of 30 waste management vehicles to local councils by the Japanese government.
An agreement was signed with a foreign company to supply waste management equipment to 45 islands across 4 atolls on December 11th last year. These vehicles will be distributed to the Nunu, Raba and Laviani atolls under this agreement. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Tariq highlighted that in the past 6 months, 22 islands have already received waste management equipment. He stressed that addressing the waste management issue cannot be funded solely by the government budget. Therefore, he said that the government is seeking funds and loan assistance from international donors and multinational organizations. Additionally, Minister Thorik said that the establishment of regional waste management centers in 3 regions of the country. He said that the waste management plant in Vandu, Ta Atoll, is currently being further developed and they have plans to increase the capacity of the Tilafushi plant in Kaf Atoll. He also said that the waste management plant in Addu city is also being developed and is expected to start providing services within the next 2 years. Furthermore, Minister Thorik reaffirmed the government's commitment to solving the waste management issue in the Maldives. He announced the launch of the National Waste Management Policy, Mage Saaf Rajya, on June 5th. He said that the policy aims to provide a comprehensive solution to the waste issue on all islands by 2028.
The Ministry of Social and Family Development announces the launch of a special training program aimed at preparing persons with disabilities for the workplace. The initiative is a collaborative effort between the Social Ministry and the Care Society of the Maldives. An agreement has been signed between the 2 entities to create employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities. The ministry said that the program will target individuals that have applied for job opportunities through the ministry's register. Over a 2-month period, participants will be introduced to the work environment and taught various essential job skills. The program will cover workplace standards and ethics as well as strategies for overcoming challenges in the workplace. The ministry said that one of the primary goals of empowering individuals with disabilities and integrating them into the workforce is to inspire others and ensure that everyone can contribute meaningfully to society. It also plans to collaborate with other institutions to further enhance employment opportunities for people with disabilities, improve their quality of life, and help them lead dignified and fulfilling lives in the future. Efforts are also underway to create a more accessible working environment for individuals with disabilities. It includes revising building construction standards to enhance accessibility and upgrading existing offices to better accommodate them. The price of diesel supplied to fishermen in Hulumale decreases to match the rates at which it is sold in sheds. This adjustment aligns with the commitments made by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, articulated in the government's manifesto. While diesel prices have been reduced to shed prices for the fishermen in Hulumale, Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company MIFCO supplies diesel to fishermen at special prices in islands where its fish factories are situated. Recently, State Trading Organization STO reduced the price of petrol and diesel sold in the Maldives, responding to the downward trend in global oil prices. Consequently, Fuel Supply Maldives Private Limited (FSM) has adjusted the prices of petrol and diesel at their stations, offering 1 litre for $0.90. The government has reduced the price of diesel sold to fishermen in Hulumale to fulfill the pledges outlined in the government's manifesto. Concurrent efforts are being made to enhance the fishing industry and bolster the profits of fishermen. Parliamentarian Hussein Riza is appointed as the President of the Judicial Service Commission (JSC). President Dr. Mohamed Muiz appointed him to represent the Parliament at the JSC. Riza was appointed as the member of JSC on June 4th. The President and Vice President of the JSC are appointed by a vote among the members of the Commission. The JSC consists of 10 members, including the Speaker of the Parliament, Abdul Rahim Abdullah. Riza graduated from higher studies in the field of law. He previously served as the Administrator of the Criminal Court as well. The Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited (MIFCO) states that it will disburse $3 million to fishermen from the outstanding amount owed, which has not been paid up until June 13th.
MIFCO said that $5.2 million remains unpaid to the fishermen. Out of this, $3 million will be paid, with the remaining amount to be settled as soon as possible in collaboration with the government. Despite the challenges of irregular payments, the company continues to purchase fish from the fishermen. Currently, MIFCO purchases fish at $1.30 per kilogram with the assistance of a government subsidy. The government's goal is to operate MIFCO without subsidies within the next 3 years. The previous administration had increased the price of fish from $1.10 per kilogram to $1.62 per kilogram. Following the price change, the fishermen earned $16.2 million for the processed fish. The government has been making significant efforts to pay the outstanding amounts to the fishermen since taking office, having disbursed more than $57 million so far. After a review of the company's fish purchase price, the government decided on February 11th to adjust it to $1.30 per kilogram, a decision made following discussions at the Economic Council.
Ministry of Islamic Affairs arranges to hold mass prayer congregations for Eid al-Adha in 6 areas in the Greater Mali region. Speaking at a press conference, the Minister of State for Islamic Affairs, Musa Anwar Hassan, stated that while the mass prayer congregations for Eid prayer will be held in 6 locations, the Eid prayer will be held in 28 mosques in the Mali city region. The prayer congregations will be held at the King Salman Mosque, Masjid al-Sultan Muhammad Taqur Fanul Azam, Mafan Stadium, Willy Mali Football Ground, and in Hulumale Phase 1 and 2. The ministry has urged all individuals attending the mass prayer congregations to come well prepared from home. Furthermore, the ministry disclosed that the mass prayers are subject to favorable weather conditions. In case of unfavorable weather conditions, the mass prayers will not be held and the Eid prayer will be held at the Friday Mosque. Britain's Labour Party launches its general election manifesto, hoping that a promise to get the economy growing again will catapult it into power after 14 years in opposition.
Labour has been consistently some 20 points ahead of Rishi Sunak's Conservatives for nearly 2 years, making its leader, Keir Starmer, a virtual shoe-in as the country's next Prime Minister if polls are correct. But Starmer still has work to do before polling day on July 4th to overcome persistent Tory claims about Labour profligacy with public finances and warnings that it will increase personal taxes. The manifesto launch comes 2 days after the Tories promised voters more tax cuts in a campaign where the affordability of the main party's spending plans have come under close scrutiny. In details trailed in advance by the party, Starmer will describe Labour's blueprint for government as a manifesto for wealth creation and call it our #1 priority. The mandate we seek from Britain at this election is for economic growth, the former human rights lawyer and chief public prosecutor will tell party members in Manchester, northwest England. Growth is their core business, the end and the means of national renewal, he will add, promising sustained economic growth to drive up living standards. To get there, Labour is promising to restore economic stability after the turbulence of recent years that saw inflation hit 11.1% in October 22, its highest in 40 years. It vowed to introduce tough new spending rules to allow businesses to plan, a cap on corporation tax at 25%, and an industrial strategy for long-term investment, particularly in green tech and AI. Starmer and his likely finance minister, Rachel Reeves, look set to have little room for maneuver. However, with the economy stagnant in April after emerging from recession in the first quarter.
Chinese Premier Li Qiang says his nation's differences with New Zealand must not become a chasm, pledging greater trade and friendship after touching down in Wellington for rare bilateral talks.
Li Qiang is embarking on a 6-day tour of New Zealand and Australia, key trading partners that have become increasingly vocal critics of China's expanding influence in the South Pacific. It is natural that they do not always see eye to eye with each other on everything, Lee told reporters after a closed-door meeting with New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher. He said that such differences should not become a chasm that blocks exchanges and cooperation between them. Christopher said he used the meeting to highlight sensitive issues such as foreign interference and recent escalations in the South China Sea. Second only to President Xi Jinping in China's political hierarchy, Lee is the most senior figure to arrive on official business in New Zealand and Australia since 2017. Over 6 days, he will set foot in 5 different cities, meet 2 prime ministers, hold talks with a string of business leaders, and engage in China's trademark panda diplomacy. A noisy crowd greeted Lee as his motorcade pulled into the Intercontinental Hotel in the heart of New Zealand's capital, Wellington. Cheering supporters banged drums and waved banners, while a smaller group of shouting protesters clambered to get a look at his car. Ahead of the bilateral meeting, Lee said he was aiming to renew China's traditional friendship with New Zealand, promising opportunities to bolster trade, tourism, and investment. China's relationship with both hosts has shifted drastically in the 7 years since Lee's predecessor toured down under. New Zealand, long seen as one of China's closest partners in the region, has become increasingly bold in its criticism of Beijing's role in the South Pacific.
Argentine football superstar Lionel Messi says he expects Inter Miami to be the club where he closes his legendary playing career, but he is not intending to depart right away.
Messi, who has a contract with the MLS squad until the end of the 2025 campaign, made his comments to ESPN in an interview to be broadcast on Wednesday. Messi told ESPN that as of now, he thinks it is going to be his last club. But Messi, who turns 37 on June 24, also added he's not ready to leave football either. The record 8-time Ballon d'Or winner became a legend with Barcelona, helping capture 4 Champions League crowns and 10 La Liga titles. Messi sparked Argentina victories in the 2021 Copa America and 2022 World Cup and is set to play for Argentina in this month's Copa America to be staged in the United States. After playing for Barca from 2004 to 2021, Messi joined Paris Saint-Germain from 2021 to 2023 and then moved to Inter Miami last year, helping the club win the league's cup crown in his early days with the squad. Messi said it was a difficult step to leave Europe to come here. He also said that the fact of having been world champion helped a lot to see things differently also. Messi's star turn raised the profile for MLS in the United States, matches selling out wherever he plays, and his shirt by far the most popular among MLS jersey purchasers. Messi now ponders playing for his homeland in the 2026 World Cup to be co-hosted by the USA with Mexico and Canada, and is contemplating the end of his incredible career. He said that his whole life he did this and he loves playing ball. He added that he enjoys the training and is a little afraid that everything will end. He also said that he tries to enjoy everything much more because he is aware that there's less and less to go and he has a good time at the club.
China announces the first astronaut candidates from its special administrative regions of Macau and Hong Kong, with the latter calling it a glorious page in the city's history.
Beijing has invested billions of dollars in its military-run space program as it pursues ambitious plans for a manned lunar landing by 2030. The China Manned Space Agency said that a payload specialist from Hong Kong and another from Macau were among 10 candidates for the country's 4th batch of astronauts. Hong Kong leader John Lee called it a glorious page in Hong Kong's history. Lee said that is the first time that a Hong Kong citizen was selected as a payload specialist in China's manned space program, with a chance to become an astronaut to go to space in person, to participate in research and to contribute to the country's space program. Sun Dong, Hong Kong's Tech and Innovation Secretary, said the winning candidate was selected out of a pool of 120 applicants through a multi-round process that has been going on since 2022. They accepted a wide range of professional backgrounds, including natural sciences, engineering, biology, and medical sciences, because the space is a brand new area for scientific exploration, he told reporters, declining to name the Hong Konger selected. Macau's government also issued a statement calling the selection of one of its own an honor that sent a strong, inspirational message to the young people of Macau. The China Manned Space Agency said the decision to select astronauts from the two territories has garnered strong support and enthusiastic participation from local communities. Plans for China's space dream have been put into overdrive under Chinese President Xi Jinping. China aims to send a crewed mission to the moon by 2030 and plans to build a base on the lunar surface.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम दुनिया कಳಿಗೆ ಮುಳಿಂಗ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬಲ್ಲಂ ಗಂದವ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಫರಾತಕ ಮರ್ಹಬಾ ದನವ दुनिया कಳಿಗೆ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಿ ಗತಿ ಬೆಫುನಾ ಮಿ ಬದಲ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲಿ ಅಹಮ ಶಾಫಿ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಿ ಮಿ ಏರೆಗ ಬೈನ ಲಗ್ವಾ ಮಿ ಮಶಂ ಫಾ ಕೊಲೆವೆ ಮುಹಿಂ ಮುಖಂಕಂ ಗೆ ಮಚ ಬಲಾಲಾ ಅಳುಮ ತಯಾರ को ගෙනස්ತೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ को මෙදුගේ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕತೆ ಬೆಫುನಾ ಹಿಸಾಬ ತಫಾತು ಏಕೇಕಿ ಮೌಲೂಮಾತ ಹಿಸಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾರುಗ ಮೆದುಗೆ ಮೌಲುವ ಕೀಮಿ ಹಿಜ್ಬುಲ್ಲೋಯ್ ಸೂರಿಯಾಗೆ ಗೋಲಾನ್ ಬಿಮ್ಗವ ಯಹೂದಿ ಸಿಫೆನ್ನ ಹಮ್ಲಾ දෙනු ಮಿ ಮೌಲುಗೆ ಮಚ ಅಳುಮ ತಿ ಬೆಫುನಾ ಹಿಸಾಬ මෙදුಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ का ಮೌಲೂಮಾತ ಹಿಸಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾನೆ then alumni ki ga program ka me do analyst ka gotkam baarwani jawad yusuf jawad me pratham sam program war boda marhaba ye to alun ge pratham suwala ki mi mashhur golan heights anota israel mi verivigen nangule suriya ge golan ge us bintaka ki kobato adi hama mi ya ki ga mi binta israel hifi kongo taka ga di ha me ki ga kong ahare gato
bismillahir rahmanir rahim assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh golan heights नोत गोलान गोस पिंते की नवास्ते फसल साथिक हंगुरामा का इस्राएल गदबारों हिफाफा बिंत के यहाँ पर हंगुरा में कन्नुला हिफी देंगोड़ा नवाने फसल साथिक हंगुरा में की अरबिन वरबड़ नाकामयाब गिंदी हंगुरा में हंगुरामा फिशुं का कुरिंग इस्राएल वनी हंगुरामा का बेनुं कुरा अरबी लश्करुगे व्यागे भारत वरबड़ हलाकुल्ला मिस्रुगे एयरफोर्स बोट तक होती बोंग अलाफा एमी उन्हें जासूसी मालूमात तक लीक हुए गए अरबी तिंगाओ में गुड़ी गए हंगुरा कुरी ये तो मिस्रा सूर्या या उर्दुन्ना दें हंगुरा माग में दिन हैं अरबी बोट बलीवी ये वाला कुरकुर हंगुरा में ये अरबी हंगुरा करेंगे फोर्स हंगुरा फिशिंग को कुरिंग एक वैग बार वनी दुवादा एमी मा एरुगा मी हिफी बिंता के मिहुलंग सेरिया गज़ा किस दें एगोता गोलान हेट्स नोनी गोलान गोस बिंता एयस एदोसरुगा फसलो सते का हंगुरामागा हिफी बिंता के दें ए बिंता एग फाहुं इस्राएल मिवनी इस्राएल अमिल बिंता के कम हदाफ एनेक्स कोफा एकम को एई बनलकामी कानूना करार तका मी कंत तोगवागोतुं अलिफ्ताल में फास कोफा सलामती मजदियो करार तक बलार से हिफाफा अभी में एनमस अमेरिका स्वनी एबिंग इस्राएल हिफाफा इंगोतुं अदि इस्राएल अमिलें एनेक्स कुरुं इस्राएल तनिक्कम हेदी हेदुं कबूल कोफ එම ඇමරිකාස්වනි කාරුණ හිලාෆ මස්සලා
දෙදි හමියාකි ගමි හිස්බුල්ලාහ හිමි ගෝලන්ග වා ඉස්රායල්ගේ සිෆෙන්න හම්ලාතක දිනුම්ගේ බේනුමකී කොබාතෝ අධි මක්සද කී කොබාතෝ අධි හමියාකිග දෙ මිස්වාලා කී ගලහම කොල්ලම් බේනවා ස්වාලෙ මි යහූදි සිෆෙන් බලි කොල්ලු මට්ටක තින්වන ෆ්‍රන්ට් හුළුමුක